Hi, my name is Tom Emrich, and I'm co-founder of the first wearable app review site called Wearable App Review, where we review apps for Galaxy Gear, Samsung, Google Glass, Pebble, and other wearable devices. And I'm also the organizer of Wearable Wednesday Toronto, which is a meetup that looks at wearable technology and helps brands, marketers, developers, and designers wrap their heads around this new technology. There are a lot of wearables out there. In fact, it's said that there may be over 115 wearable devices already on the market. I would say that my favorite health wearable is a waistband called LumoBack, which helps you understand when you're out of alignment in your lower back posture, and it zaps you into place. For me, the value proposition for that wearable is completely clear because I sit at a desk all day long, and so using the LumoBack to help me sit up straight and also feel better about myself is why that would be my favorite wearable for health. But my favorite smartwatch is actually the Galaxy Gear, mostly because I have a Samsung smartphone, which you do need for that device. But the Galaxy Gear lets me see notifications like phone calls, text messages, or even calendar reminders without having to pull my smartphone out of my pocket, which is really good for meetings so I don't look completely rude. And of course, I have to say that my favorite smart glasses is Google Glass. I've been using Google Glass for the past 9 months, and Google Glass allows me to have more of a heads-up view of some of the same information that I talked about for Galaxy Gear. I can see phone calls, text messages, but I can also use some really cool apps like Word Lens that allows me to translate from Spanish to English, English to French, and other languages, and play some pretty cool games. Like the smartphone market, we are going to see a big app boom for wearables, and so applications and content marketing are definitely applicable for marketers and brands as we see more and more people adopt this type of technology. So we've already seen some early adopters from a marketing perspective jump on board with Google Glass, for example. Sherwin-Williams created a Google Glass app which lets you take a picture of your surroundings and then share that with Sherwin-Williams to send back a color palette that you can use to design your house. And then they even give you directions to the nearest Sherwin-Williams store. So that's a great way to use applications with a wearable tech device. But we're also seeing some companies like Cadbury, for example, using wearables as more of an experiential or PR opportunity. Cadbury created a jacket that spoke to you to ask you to take out a chocolate bar from its pocket. And once you actually took the chocolate bar out and took a piece of the bar in your mouth and chewed on it, the jacket went wild, the lapel went back and forth, confetti came out the back, and it was really trying to mimic the joy that chocolate gives. And that's a great PR moment that really reverberated amongst the internet. And so that's another way that marketers can take part of the wearable tech boom that's happening. And then the third way that I think marketers can really benefit is really data. So mobile is expected to give us a lot of intimate data of consumers, but wearable technology takes it one step further, where we're going to be able to see what our consumers are seeing, maybe even understand what they're thinking, and also understand their health, how healthy they are, and what their health habits are. And that can be really, really valuable for a lot of brands. I think the barriers are really about cost. The cost for wearables are really too high at this point, so the price point is going to need to come down. Google Glass retails for $1,500, Galaxy Gear for $300, so we're going to need to see much cheaper technology come into the stores for people to actually buy them and have them fly off the shelves. Fashion is another barrier for consumers. Right now, fashion is void with wearables, but we're seeing a lot of partnerships like Fitbit partnering with Tory Burch, Intel partnering with Opening Ceremony and Barney's. And so once we start seeing the fashion houses partner with the tech shops, I think we're going to see a lot more exciting pieces come to the market for people to purchase. But for a marketer and developer, the barrier really is fragmentation. As I mentioned before, there's over 100 and odd devices out there on the market, and each have their own software development kit, their own platform. So it's difficult to understand which of those should I bet on, which device should I develop develop and have my content on. And then when I do develop content, say for the Galaxy Gear, I have to go and redo that for the Pebble and then for Google Glass. So that's a lot of budget as well as a lot of work for marketers. So we're going to need to see some convergence on the software side, the operating side, to more easily allow for developers and brands to have their content across a myriad of wearable devices. I think in 5 years' time is when we're really going to see wearables at its prime, meaning more and more people are going to be wearing wearables, they're going to be comfortable with them, and that's going to allow us to be more freed up from our devices and really be able to go on our daily lives and actually interact with each other and with the real world without having to worry about checking our smartphone, taking pictures with our smartphone and posting that on Instagram. All of our sensors, our wearable technology will be doing all of those things for us. So in 5 years, we're going to have a lot more individuals using wearable tech, and we're also going to see benefits of having all the features, bells and whistles of the digital world without that precluding us from interacting in the real world.